Preach reacts to the new Jailer cinematic. It's just true. Very, very true.
Oh, there's an intro cinematic. There's 2 cinematics.
I thought that was cool.
Okay.
I was glad they had 2 cinematics. I was. I have to say that watching this makes me more interested for the game on the side than than the one in the middle.
2 cinematics. Right then. Put subtitles on. Hold on.
Okay, here we go. I want to watch him do it.
God, what have people been watching on this PC? Changing the World Order.
Wait, what the fuck?
Pass.
What the fuck? Jesus.
Pass. That's a hard pass for me, bro. So we've got an intro
Here
cinematic.
we go.
Okay, cool.
All to claim the power slumbering within your world.
What?
The soul of Azeroth. Wounded. Vulnerable.
See, I actually really thought this part of it was kind of cool. How they used the old halls of what was this, the Forge of Souls? How they used it, and they actually had the gears turning for the first time ever, because it actually did, it provided like context for like, well, what were those? And like it's like finally that unanswered question happened. First cinematic was okay. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Is that a Forge of Souls?
It is.
Potential that I will use.
And then it came through ICC. Like, that was so badass. This was badass too. And it connected them like a conduit.
Death claims the soul of your world.
Oh, it's just more Swan
Bear
armor.
witness, mortals, to eternity's end.
I'm confused.
Really? Why?
Wouldn't he attack the wound itself? Why is there a big machine? What's this machine for? I thought the Forge of...
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, why wouldn't he attack the wound? Yeah, because, like, Sylvanas probably told him about the sword, right? I mean, like, she had to have told him about the sword. So, yeah, now that I think about it, like, that is weird. Like, because, like, the wound would be closer, right? But, like, maybe it's because of the conduit. What sword, bro? Like, yeah, what sword? What sword? What do you mean, what sword, dude? Like, what do you mean? Are these more sword truthers in chat? Oh my god. I guess like it kind of makes sense because like the Forge of Souls in the lore, I guess, was like made for this purpose.
Souls just ripped souls out. What does this do? What's this big turbine that's underneath Ice Crown?
Well, it's like it's pulling.
Turbine? It's the ICT. Yeah, but that's not what the Forge of Souls was. The Forge of Souls wasn't to tap into the power of Azeroth, right?
They never really said, and that's the thing. That's why
it's cool.
It does look cool. It does. It's badass. Turn up volume. Okay.
Oh, I mean that certainly was. It's under Ice Crown Citadel.
Yeah.
There's been no mention at any point that there's something under Ice Crown. Like there's a big ass machine under Ice Crown that's designed to tap into the world.
Well,
soul.
Even more so that it was not mentioned. It's that it was mentioned, and it was mentioned that what was underneath Ice Crown and all of Northrend was Yogg Saron. That was my understanding, and that's why you get Serenite, because that's the blood of Yogg Saron. Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck that was.
Well, it's Azeroth itself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking the soul of Azeroth, but has there ever been a mention that this machine exists under there? Yeah, but the Forge of Souls wasn't for that. There's lore for the Forge of Souls. That's not what the Forge of Souls was for. Like, I know it's the dungeon. I recognize it. I've ran it a billion times, but that's not what it was for. Okay.
I feel like you can multi-purpose it. Like, having the turbines turning for the first time in the dungeon, I actually think this was cool. And I don't feel like they needed a lot of lead up for it, because it's almost like one of those things that gets put into the game, and it's like, there have been some cases, remember where it was like, they had like that gigantic gun in Ashara, and Alex Afrasiabi, probably never going to happen now, right, said that you would eventually fire the gun. It's like you have like these massive things in the game, and it finally lends purpose to these massive things in the game. And I think it's fine. Like, that's the only part of this that I'm actually generally okay with.
So, I mean, okay, there's a big machine under there that does this. Oh, have they retconned it a bit for what the Forge of Souls was supposed to be? So he's using the power of Azeroth to unmake reality. So Ice Crown Citadel is kind of going a bit Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
in that Ego Shandor built Icecrown Citadel in order to power the gate to let Zul through. Zul, aka Zoval.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's what I'm getting, right? That's the vibe, is the whole building is basically a giant conduit to let this through.
Yeah, that's effectively
Okay.
it. And like, I thought this part was really cool too, because it actually, like, the reason why I thought it was so cool is that it provided actual context for like why the two of these things are, like, basically they seem to be mirroring each other. Yeah, I thought this was really cool, and how it came through ICC and everything. Like, this was awesome in my opinion. It's really not cool at all, to be honest. I don't know. I thought it was cool. Like, yeah, I mean, is this like next level storytelling? No, it's not. But I just thought it was cool. Like, this is fine. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Not everything has to be Game of Thrones. Like, it can just be like, wow, oh, this cool tower. That's actually what he's going to use it for. Oh, that's really cool. So this really was a plan, right? It makes sense.
Are you the keymaster? Yeah, I mean, it does feel. I'm getting a Ghostbusters vibe from it. I wish it wasn't. I wish it looked a bit different. I kind of would have preferred him to fight without armor than be one of the Morsworn that was just wandering around.
I feel like I liked whenever he put on his armor, but I didn't really like it all that much because it just seems like I don't know. Like, I remember the original concept art for the Jailer. I actually thought was cooler than the original Jailer, or than the actual Jailer that we get. Yeah, let me see if I can find a picture of it. Yeah, I found it. Okay, so let me see if I can find it right here. Okay, open image in new tab. Yeah, so this is what the Jailer was originally going to look like. Like, I kind of like that more. In my opinion, I do. I do kind of like this more. What do you guys think? He's got chains all over him. And like, yeah, I think that looks really, really fucking badass. It's just, it looks like Zeus. Well, I think that, like, really, what I looked at the Jailer as is, like, in the lore of the game, the Jailer was like the antithesis of Aman'Thul. Because Aman'Thul was kind of like the leader, you could say, of the Titans, or he was the one that was kind of the, you know, he was the one that had all the voice lines. So this is almost like the evil version of Aman'Thul. Yeah, way more elegant looking. Yeah, I think so. And also another thing that I like about this is that he looks like an actual king, right? Like, this looks like almost like an evil version of Poseidon or something like that. This guy just looks like he's the big bad guy. Like, there's not really a lot of nuance to the way that the character looks. He looks like an arbiter. Does he look like an arbiter? Let me see. Yeah, the Master of Death. I could see this guy being the Master of Death. Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm not saying that Jailer looks cool. Like, I do think he looks badass. But also, like, if getting the Arbiter's soul and the power of the Arbiter back, like, isn't it weird that, like, he's got skulls all over his face? Like, I mean, isn't that kind of morbid? Like, did the Shadowlands go through an emo phase with Zoval? Like, how did this happen? Primus? Yeah, I guess the Primus has skulls too. That's true.
Korthier so much in Torghast.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looks cool. He looks cool enough. I haven't seen this fight yet. I know I watched Big Dumb Guild and Liquid doing heroic Rivallon and Lords of Dread. That was fun. But I know some guilds went straight into normal to kill the Jailer. I haven't seen it. I want to wait for that. Okay, this is the big finale. So this is after
Okay,
he
here we
dies,
go.
right?
Oh boy, here we go.
Must not be.
You have betrayed your duty as Arbiter.
He was the
Shall be
Arbiter?
bound forever.
That's what I thought too.
When he was getting jailed.
Your madness has threatened the cycle of life and death entirely.
You could have sought another way, brother. Imagine what we could have accomplished together.
That was the weirdest part to me. Is like, so whenever Denathrius said what we could have accomplished together, and then they end up teaming up together, and then on top of that, it also means that Denathrius and all of the people there know what the Jailer's plan was. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like they know why he was doing it. It's like they did. Everybody knows what the plan is, except us. That's it. That would have made sense. We saw his memory before we knew Denathrius, and he was working with the jailer. Now it's weird. Yeah, I know. Blizzard forgot about the first tier. Yeah, they're making the game like people play the game. Castle Nathria? No, man. That's the storyline. No. Those were the rules in the story in 9.0. No. No, now we're on to something different.
We could have accomplished together.
Why, Zovar? What drove you to this end?
Oh, he's going to explain his motive?
That which is doomed. A cosmos divided will not survive. What is to come?
There's a bigger baddie out there. No, man.
Yeah.
No, man. Oh, no, dude. Wait,
Yeah.
No, dude. No, you can't
No,
have
dude.
the fuck... Am I understanding this right? Oh, hello.
It's just...
Somebody's taking pictures of me. You can't have his motive be he wants to...
Dude, I really thought that... I thought to myself, there's no way. Whenever I saw the data mined image of the jailer, like that robot, like looking down sad and stuff, I thought to myself, there's no way they're actually going to play that. There's no way he was actually just like a weird defective robot. That's ridiculous. Like, how could they possibly do that? Who says Cosmos divided will not survive? Is he referring to the Alliance and the Horde being unified in 10.0? No, I don't think so, because we're not the Cosmos. We're just like one planet. Who was the last shadow towering over and talking to the jailer? It was the Primus, I'm pretty sure.
Unmake reality and dominate everybody in the universe because there's something else coming that's going to dominate the universe. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. They can't do that. You gotta be like, well, I need to fucking crush you all and unmake reality. Otherwise, something worse is gonna come and crush you all and unmake reality. That's what I'm getting, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. He's like, I need to do this because there's something worse coming.
I need to kill you guys so this other guy doesn't come over and kill you guys. Wow. That's basically what it is right there. It sounds like Doctor Who. Yeah, I know. It's just... I just can't believe this, man. I cannot fucking believe this. He wasn't bad at all. Yeah. So turn it up. Yeah, sorry, it's a the volume for this and like him are very different, so I'm turning it up and down.
That's what he's saying, right? I need to dominate you all. I need to unmake reality to unify you. It's for the greater good, baby. It's for the greater good, because guess what?
And there's no like and he doesn't say like, oh, this is why. He doesn't say like, oh, well, it's like, wouldn't that kind of help people understand? Where he's like, hey, this is why I need to do this, but he just never explains himself? Holy shit.
But there's somebody else coming. And he's even worse. Okay, I see why people are pissed at this. Yeah, that's garbage.
Yep.
I still don't get why he's evil. I mean, he still wants to dominate everybody and crush them all and unmake reality, but whatever the fuck unmake reality means...
Oh my god. It was just a prank. Yeah, I just...
Oh, that's bad.
I feel like it like maybe I'm wrong about this, but it does make me less motivated to want to like play the raid or play the game if the story is like really, really bad. Like, am I the only person that feels that way? Like, or do you guys feel like, yeah, it's extreme bad? Yeah, it's like demoralizing. It's like, oh, well, you know, why am I going to go and do this or do that? Like, what's the point of it almost? That's kind of the way that it makes me feel. You play Lost Ark and the story is bad? Carmine's a better character than the jailer. So is Father Armin. Like, I mean, yeah, but I mean, there's like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's still trash? Yeah, well, I don't think it's, like, super amazing. No, it's not super amazing, but it's good enough. It's fine.
That's bad.
They're both dog shit stories.
It says all 6 realities will never come back to being one. It's just so poorly told. That's unfortunate. Sargeras was the same storyline. I don't even know Sargeras' storyline.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
at all. I can only base it on this. I really can't. It's bootleg Sargeras. They're just getting rid of him. He's the Garrison of villains. You are, unfortunately, pal.
The Garrison of villains. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's a bad one. Like, this would have been, okay, this would have been like my perfect ending for fucking Shadowlands, right? Like, this is what I wanted to see more than anything. What I wanted to see was, I wanted to see the jailer at the very end do the exact same ability, like the Fury of Frostmourne, and we fight him, and he actually just kills all of us. Except for this time, nobody resurrects all the players. The players don't all get resurrected. They're all just dead. And then he goes on a monologue where he tells us that we've been living in a false reality. Azeroth has been destroyed by N'Zoth, and the reason, the entire reason why we're in the Shadowlands is because our characters are actually dead, and he's going to remake reality to try to stop N'Zoth, right? Like, that would have been fucking cool, because, like, here's the reason, is that if the jailer had just randomly killed all of the players, like at the very end, you get him to 10% health and he just kills everybody instantaneously, and they don't get resurrected, that's different. That's interesting, right? Because he just genuinely fucking wins. And then on top of that, he sends everybody back to Azeroth. He becomes the Arbiter again, and then we never hear from him. And then we fight the old gods. We go back to Azeroth. It gives Blizzard a way to, like, completely redo Azeroth. And the jailer could completely break the cycle of life and death. And you know how he could do that? He could do that by never allowing a player to corpse run again. You understand that? Like, a player cannot die anymore in Warcraft because it makes sense out of respawning. It turns respawning into an actual, like, logical game design mechanic. It turns the player's experience into having less downtime. It just, it's like your character dies, but it doesn't go to the Shadowlands anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like, it just instantly resurrects at the graveyard or at the beginning of the instance or something like that. So your character would never actually die. Like, you would never actually have a dead character. And so, like, then after that, you'd have to fight back N'Zoth's influence, and the jailer would truly be like a neutral evil character. Where, like, he killed everybody, he sent all of them back to Azeroth, he became the Arbiter again, and that was it. It's done. That story's done. Like how it works in the mod. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no more res sickness, nothing. Corpse rocking is in the lore. NPC named Fatescribe and Oribos recognizes you. What I'm saying is that they could change and reinvent and completely, what's the word for it? Not normalize, modernize the game by just removing and saying that the jailer is unmaking reality. That's all they could do, but you would have a reason to it. Yeah, they could completely revamp it. And they missed the opportunity to do that. And like, also, it would be something, because, like, it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, that we were able to beat N'Zoth. Like, it doesn't make sense. N'Zoth, like, you have to understand, like, Yogg-Saron in in Old War was at, like, 0.1% of his power. Like, you were effectively fighting a pimple on Yogg-Saron. And that's what you beat. And that's how hard it was to beat it. An actual fully powered old god, even if it's the weakest old god that there is, it's still fucking an old god. Like, how could you even have a chance? Like, it's the same with, like, Ashara. Ashara is, like, this super power. She's, like, the most powerful sorceress in all of the Warcraft story. And N'Zoth fucking picks her up like she's just a fucking, like, a doll. She's like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. What the hell were you thinking? And that's it. And so, like, how is the power scaling on N'Zoth so much higher? Which makes sense, by the way, because he's like a fucking eldritch, Lovecraftian beast. And we just beat him. How the fuck did that make any sense? No way. The thing's as big as a fucking skybox? Give me a break. I was frustrated. What about Cthulhu? Cthulhu also. We fought, like, basically an emergence of Cthulhu, but not a... Like, with N'Zoth, we fought an old god at its full power. That's the difference. I know I'm going off on a tangent here. All I'm really trying to say is that I feel like the jailer storyline actually could have done so much for the game. It could have allowed them to revamp the world, to modernize game systems, especially around dying. It could have allowed them to actually have an interesting new character. It could have done all of these things, and none of that happened.
You are the garrison of villains.
Yeah.
They're just getting rid of you. Get the fuck out of there. You are war fronts of villains. That's what you are. Yeah, they pulled the plug. It's Emmett coming for Azeroth. Dude, I would shit my pants if Emmett Salk showed up in Azeroth. No, because who's writing him? Who's writing the Emmett Salk story for Azeroth? I don't need that in my life. Who's writing the Emmett Salk Azeroth story?
That's the guy from Shadowbringers,
He's the
right?
war
People always tell me that, like, that character's really good.
Villains, like, just get out of here. Bye.
Yeah, I think it is, right?
See you later.
Yeah.
The real story is Anduin's. What a wasted potential, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Shadowlands was coming and we saw the pictures of the jailer and how hype everybody was about who the jailer was?
Yeah.
Where's the original cutscene?
Yeah.
Where's the Shadowlands original cutscene?
Yes. Those were the days,
what
man.
What did it set us up for?
Those were the days.
That's already a picture of just...
Oh, fuck.
Can we get it for the thumbnail, Chris? You ready?
Wait.
Right. I need my full Zack face. Right, it's right hand.
Okay. So his thumbnail was making fun of my thumbnail, and then I started making fun of his thumbnail that was actually making fun of my thumbnail. That's already a better story than 9.2. Holy shit.
There we go. There you go. Right, hold on. What was the setup for this expansion?
What setup? What do you mean? What setup thing, homie?
Because this cutscene was sick. I remember being so hyped about this.
Is he gonna show it? Okay, yeah, he will. I wasn't hyped at all.
I don't want to watch Zack's reaction. He'll probably end up bleeding.
Ice Crown.
Oh, you can't see? Sorry, dudes.
Yeah.
A monument to our suffering.
There she is, dude.
This was so good.
No, it wasn't.
The veil between life
No, it was so bad.
and death. Where a usurper sits on a frozen throne.
This was so bad, dude. It was visually awesome. You're right about that. It's
I
just...
want to watch this to see what relevance it had to the actual story.
But no king rules forever.
How'd she just walk in? What about Lord Marrowgar? This is the beginning and the end, mortals. None may enter the Master's sanctum. You remember that? Bone Storm, remember that? We kill them? So let me get this straight. It's like also Bolvar, the only NPCs, the only bodyguards that all of ICC has are a bunch of ghouls. What about the Four Horsemen? She showed up whenever they were asleep. And they came back, they're like, boss, what happened? Like, she got the helmet, guys, I fucked up.
Oh, there was a giant machine under Iceground. Did he go downstairs?
And like, this was really cool. That was so fucking badass. This was so fucking cool,
Did he do a tour of
man.
Iceground when he took over? You'd think he would do that.
Here we go. I think the only thing that was good about this cinematic is it showed how slow DKs were. Like, there's no charge, they can't do anything, just sit there and go, You know, like, that's what it was.
of Souls,
And that was cool.
Was nothing to do with sucking the power of Azura. That is not what that thing was.
Here we
I
go.
don't know much about the lore back then. But
Arrows
I know
were dope?
that's
Yeah,
not
they
what
were.
The Forge of Souls
And
was.
like this part was really cool too.
Yeah, saying it was there since Wrath of the Lich King is not true. They can retcon it now and say that's what it was, but that's not what it was. I just feel like Bolvar would have broke it if he found that.
Yeah.
Or turned it off, you know, unplugged it or something.
Yeah, it's like, why didn't Bolvar ever tell us about the jailer? Like, I mean, you talk to Bolvar all the time. Even when he's the Lich King, why didn't he say, like, listen, you know, you thought it was actually, like, there's actually a little bit more to it. Like, there's this other guy, and it's like, he didn't exist yet. Yeah, it's like... Here we go. Here we go.
Like such a pussy.
Yeah, he did go down like a bitch. He 100% went down like a bitch. This was ridiculous.
You are unfit to wear this crown.
Like, Bolvar looks really cool. I'll say the visual for it is fucking badass.
To wield so much power.
Well, apparently not. You just beat him.
Power.
Yeah, you just beat him.
Your prison.
True, that's true, that made sense.
This world is a prison.
I actually thought this
Should
part
she have
here...
said this reality is a prison?
I really thought this part here was badass. Because everybody right here thought that this was the moment where Sylvanas becomes the Lich Queen. Everybody thought this is what was going to happen. And, like, this is what 100%, like, everybody had talked about this since after ICC. It was like, it's finally going to happen. And, like, this was actually the best subverting expectations that I think Blizzard's probably ever done in a cinematic before. It was really, really good. Because nobody fucking expected her to just break the bitch in half.
Prison.
And, like, she also, by the way, looked into the camera. There's a little fun fact here. She looked into the camera and put the helmet on in the exact same way Arthas did in the Warcraft 3 cinematic. She did the exact same thing. So it's like, holy shit, it's about to happen. And then people are like, wait, what the fuck? And, like, that was cool. Like, in my opinion, I thought that was cool. Because nobody expected this shit to happen.
And I will set us all free.
Kind of fits. If you assume she's under the influence of a jailer. Yeah, it fits. It does. It does. It does.
What I would have preferred to happen in this cinematic is I actually think it would have been way cooler if Bolvar had destroyed her human form and she had taken it off of his head at the very end and broken it anyway. Because, like, realistically, like, I think it would make sense that Sylvanas would be faster and more, like, agile than Bolvar. It just kind of makes sense for sure. But, like, her being able to beat him like that would have been ridiculous. Yeah, she's an elf. Like, Sylvanas is an elf. Like, what this scene should have reminded me of is, like, Fingolfin versus Morgoth. Where, like, he's one of the most powerful elves of all time. He's a legendary warrior. But Morgoth is a god. And it doesn't matter what you do. it doesn't make a difference at all. And I think that, like, in my opinion, this should have ended either with that happening or Sylvanas breaking the helmet and then Bolvar killing her. Because that would have just completely ended the Sylvanas story. It would have ended the problem. It would have made sense because he's the fucking Lich King, and then it would have been totally over. Like, that's what should have happened. So elves are OP is what you're saying? Yeah, all I'm really trying, the Mountain versus the Viper. Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it, sure. I mean, maybe. Achilles versus the River God. Humans can't kill a god no matter how fucking juiced. Yeah, it's just like you can't. That's what was so weird to me is that, like, the Lich King, it's like of all this time, like, obviously, this really annoyed me too, right? It's like, obviously, Bolvar has powers, right? Bolvar clearly has powers. Like, how's he casting Remorseless Winter, right? How's he doing this? It's clear that he's the Lich King. How are the Lich King's powers this weak? It doesn't make sense. It's given her power too. We could take away Bolvar's powers as well. Yeah, I saw that, right? And I feel like the reason why that was dumb is that it makes sense that Bolvar is more powerful because Bolvar has the helmet and he's the Lich King. It doesn't make sense that Sylvanas is more powerful. Whenever Arthas became more powerful and he had Frostmourne, it made sense because he had Frostmourne. There's no empowering device that's on the screen that makes fucking Sylvanas way stronger. It's the same as whenever Thanos is really powerful in, Thanos is really powerful in Infinity War, it's because he has the Infinity Gauntlet. It makes sense, right? So, like, you have to have some sort of empowering device that happens, like her using this kind of magic. Like, Sylvanas has used weird shit like this before throughout the game. There's no reason to know that this is some kind of separate, demonic power. I have no idea. So, it's just, yeah, it's weird. She was empowered. No, I understand what the reason was. I just think that it was stupid. But off-screen, the jailer is dispelling Bolvar's raid buffs, and Sylvanas kept hers. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Is Sylvanas went in there with world buffs, and Bolvar didn't have any, and she came out ahead. It makes sense. I mean, like, fuck. Like, it does. It's powered up by Helmy and a jailer. It's just told really fucking badly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Is I'm not saying... in my opinion, I still think the Lich King should have won, because he's the fucking Lich King. And realistically, even Tyrion, whenever he shattered Frostmourne, he got a lucky hit on the Lich King. Like, he did. Tyrion Forgering versus the Lich King, just mano. Tyrion would lose in a second. Like, he would lose in like a fraction of a second, and he was holding the Ashbringer. He didn't have Frostmourne and any souls to empower him. That was still an argument. Well, he still has the helmet, though, and it's obvious that the helmet gives him powers. That's how he's casting all these frost abilities, and he can just take arrows after arrows. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. Like, all I'm really trying to say here is that this whole thing was ridiculous. Let me go back, and I'll watch the rest of it, okay? I'll finish the video, because there's some other stuff I want to watch today, too.
And I will set us all free.
Kind of fits.
Arthas was distracted? Yeah, he was.
If you assume she's under the influence of a jailer, yeah, it fits. It does. It does. It does.
Yeah, it does fit.
Free from, free from being yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all mystery. Yeah, it's so vague. That's the thing. It's so vague. It's like, yeah, you can twist it to make it fit.
And that's why they make it vague. That's what I was saying before. Is like it's made to be vague intentionally so that they can give people so they can just change the story whenever they want. Like it's intentionally vague to give them breathing room to do things differently. That's what my opinion is. I think that's why they do it.
Whatever. Oh well. It's over now. We can all rest easy.
That's what you think. Isn't that cute that Preach thinks it's over? Isn't that so fucking cute that Preach actually thinks that it's over? Man, how could you ever believe that? Even with the next expansion coming out on the 19th of April, chances are we won't get a cinematic because of COVID. Well, I'm sure they could have made a cinematic in that time. They could have made, the cinematic could be done for all we know. Yeah, I have no idea. It's over for him because he isn't buying the same shit expansions like you. Well, yeah, the thing is, to me, like, I don't really... I felt like I got my money's worth with Shadowlands whenever it came out. I did. I really did. If you look at it as, like, $1 an hour for entertainment, I feel like I got my money's worth with Shadowlands whenever it came out. I did. That's all there is to it. And like, again, I don't think that it's, you know, you got scammed. I don't know. I feel like I easily did. I got hundreds of hours of fun out of Shadowlands. I did. I enjoyed the game a lot. Yeah, I mean, without monthly sub, I don't know. I mean, you can just unsub if you're not happy with the game. Like, I think that makes sense. That's fair. I do. I think that's totally fair. If you want to unsub if you're not happy with the game. And I feel like it was worth it, but I feel like it could have been more worth it. True. That's what I think really matters. And that's the way I feel about it, too. First 2 months were okay. Yeah, I would say so, too.